Everybody, happy Monday. Say hi in the chat if you are watching the live, and yeah, welcome to this new edition of Juno Live. It's already the sixth establishment in the series. So yeah, the idea today is that we continue to work on our Doodle sample app that we have started to build together. But before that, I was thinking that we can have a look to an issue that we had yesterday and that was reported on Discord, actually. So if we have a look to this project, that's a Next.js project, right? And it uses the static export to pre-render the application because Juno does not support server-side rendering yet. The IC does support it with a workaround, but given that Juno is built for speed, we don't have that yet. And yes, and what the developer was trying to do, let me zoom here as usual. This, we see that in this particular page, which is in a product ID, so we want to use dynamic fetching of data. We have to declare a generic static param that comes from next, right? You see that generic static function is called to load data when you have a dynamic route. And what did the developer is use listDoc to get the products from that doc, and then here the idea is to return the item so that the page here can pre-render that. However, if I do that here, so now I'm gonna build that project. You see that there is an error. And yeah, the issue is, you see here that the certificate is signed for more than 5 minutes. And even if I try to use, I think, so that's a, by the way, that's a really good looking app that the developer is currently building. So if I try to, let's say whatever here, an ID, I'm gonna have a 404 because I don't have the right URL, which I don't remember right now. Products. It's because it's marketplace. Marketplace slash product slash 5. You see, then here I've got certificate signed in 5 minutes, and then I keep getting that error despite the fact that I'm on the right time. So we try to figure out a way to solve that. I'm just gonna check if anyone saying hi, given that. All right. So I did not find a solution. So what I did is I opened an issue here on the forum. So if you're interested, it's the one to follow. Here, I documented it. I even provided a sample repo to reproduce the error because that's not an error that comes from Juno. But what I want to show you is how you can work around this issue. So what we did is the following. So instead of fetching the data when next build, we created a script that does the same things, but instead of just injecting the data in next, it creates a JSON file. So if I go in that project and I run that script, of course, what did I do? Okay, I don't have the dependency installed, but yeah, let me do that quickly. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's not wait. So if I run that script, it will use listdoc to list document, and because I'm just interested in the product ID, I just do a map to get this information. So it takes ages. When that script run, it's gonna write in app data, it's gonna write a product JSON that contains the ID. And then what we do, right, it worked out. And then what we do is, if we go to the same page here that has the issue, so in marketplace product blah blah blah, we see that here, instead of reading directly from the doc, here we read the JSON file and then we inject this ID from the JSON file. So it's really a workaround, because then it means that when you have to build, you have to first run that script and then build next. But when it's done, then you can definitely build, assuming I've got my dependencies here. And the other things too is like, if you want to then use Juno on the client side, what you're gonna do is you create a component. So you extract you see it builds. You extract the client part in a component, and in that component you add the use client. But interesting enough is that you cannot have use client and that within the same page here. Next, not gonna be happy, you see? All right. So yeah, so if you are interested, track the issue there. Otherwise, you know that if you ever try to pre-render some data in a Next.js application, you know that we have now some sample to share, right? Okay, so if there is no more question, I'm gonna connect my phone because I forgot to sign in Juno, right? So no question, so I'm gonna continue. We were working on our Doodle app, like, calendar, let's call it like that. All right, and if that's something annoying. All right, and I'm gonna start the Docker image. To have like a bigger screen, no? Yes. So I start the emulator for the backend and I start the front end, right? Okay, so we are here, huh? Right? We had our calendar and could sign in and blah blah blah, create event and so on. And yesterday I thought, yeah, I want to try to have like a different UI just because I want to change a bit. So I created like a cheap design. You see, yeah, it's a bit of a change, right? So what I did is I removed all the Tailwind style that we had, and I've installed Daisy UI so that if we need more components, then we're gonna be able to find some here. And also, I never used Daisy UI, so it was also interesting to try to set it up right. And yeah, I just selected the retro theme. So yeah, that's nice. And yeah, if we have a look, so we have the same functionality. We sign in. Then the difference is we don't create the event anymore in a modal. No, there is like a distinctive route. So in our project, I added a new route here and basically copied the code from the modal there. And I added a title. So to add the title in the config, no, sorry, where was I? Just in the Juno file, events.ts, something like that. Yes, here I added a new field title so that we can create a title. Here we can select dates, remove dates, and then we create an event. It's not shiny yet. Here I got an issue with that, but yeah, the event is created, and if we go back here, we see that we have now the events, and we get links, and that's the link that is displayed. This does not work, it's something we have to implement, and this is something to do, and if I log out, then this information are still public, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna merge this because that was in a pull request. I call it cheap design because actually I just took the Daisy UI, tweaked the style, and then I basically went to ChatGPT to ask, give me the layout. So really did not spend too much time on that. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we probably have some to do now. Yes, of course. So that's the public page, right? Which means that let's use two browsers. That's gonna be fine. So here, that's the link, and here, that's the public link. So here, I'm David, and I want to select the dates I'm available to join the party. So if we have X Calidro, we have, no, we have it here. Do you remember where we did the design? No, that's definitely not that. I don't remember where we displayed the exchange of message for that things. Yeah. Anyway. Maybe here. Right. Okay. So we log into, we can create that. I can send a link to my friend, and now my friends want to select the dates, and we should select those dates and save them somewhere. So our schema currently has events, which is managed by the user, and the dates are public. And we don't want to save that there. We want to have like another collection where my friend can enter the data, and then both can write there. And here the question is, do we make this participation mandatory? So do we add like a login button, or do we allow my friends to just participate by entering the name? And I kind of find cool that they don't have to sign in. We can add that later. So I was thinking that we can add another collection that has read public and write public also. And yeah, that could be cool. And what we can do is we generate how are we gonna do that? So we generate stuff with anonymity, and then so let's call task link into, and then we put a title. Yeah, let's just try. So what's it called? Participation? Answers? Yeah, let's call answers to get started. And we say it's public and public. Okay. So here I just gonna wait the schema to be updated. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is here we got the answer. So there we got the potential date. So each time I click, I get the dates, huh? Right? So paf, we got two dates with checked false, and here is checked true. Sounds like it's inverted, right? Checked false, checked true. No, that's not, that look good. True. Okay. So let's do that. We declare a type to get started. So we have the events, we're gonna have the answers. And to follow the same pattern, event data, so export interface answer data, and we're gonna have I'll put the date, but maybe we should, yeah, let's do it quick and dirty. And then for each date, we're gonna have a flag. So yeah, we're gonna do that. So answer data gonna be one answer gonna be a date and check get. All right. Okay. And the answers data gonna contain an array of that. Answers data. Okay. That way we're gonna have like a doc. Yeah, I can something like that. And here in this page, so blah blah blah, we load the event, and then here we do a map to date and date. Okay. And here we do date. Date. Okay, so we're gonna call this one answers. Okay. And okay. So it's gonna be the answers. And then here when we fetch the data, okay, we get the answer. And here when, so that's gonna be an answer too. And here we have answer date, but I need to provide a date here. And here I gonna, when I toggle, I gonna give the answers. And here what we have answer data singular. And this is a filter on the date. And then, all right. So here, if we print out the answer, that should still work. Ah, that, tac, tac, tac. False, false. Okay, so we have here false. Something is wrong in my so they come, they are false. And then, okay. Why are they false? What's happening here? Filter the dates that are not the selected date and the selected date. Sweet, that's true. And then they become false. That sounds weirdly inaccurate. Ah, how come? Ah, you see that? No, I get it. Here, it's moving. Yeah. So, uh, um, I don't remember how you set up a key. I think that here we have to, is that something like that? Date. Okay, so no. Okay, so we just gonna do sort, gonna B ah, it's correct, huh? I think date B date minus date B, right? Okay, and so here we have the answer too, so const sort answers. Here we gonna so here we're gonna have the answers, which is answers data, answers data. Okay, so no, 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 no. Oh, sorry. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we're gonna have just need this random, and here that's return a number, and this is answer data, and this one is answer data as well. So that way we can just sort answer all the time. Okay. Tac, tac. Paf, boost through. Paf. Okay, we are good, huh? Okay. And now what we want to do is we want to save the document. So somewhere I have a set doc, right? Yeah. Is a key because I just want to use the same pattern. So we add a flag for the progression, and then we're gonna do that here. So tac, we generate a key. Yeah, let's do that. And that's gonna be answers data plural in the collection answers, and as result of the data here we're gonna have the answers. Okay, and successfully what we're gonna do, yeah, should we redirect when finished or what should we do? Your answers have been registered. Let's see afterwards, and yeah, to do what do we do, and that's an alert. Why answering the event? Yeah. So if answer is undefined, who answers dot length is 0, we want to display an error. Okay. And what do we do with that progress here? I guess we set something as disabled. Okay. So in the input, we can do that, which is fun. So here we have the input. So disabled on progress. And in the class, we're gonna have that. Am I missing something? Oh yeah. Okay. Tac tac. Ah, oof. And the button as well. Okay. So let's do the same thing here. Button, blah blah blah. And disabled progress. Okay. Blah 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 blah. And here. Okay. So okay. It's a good start, right? Now we probably want, given since we don't want to have a login now, I guess we want to have a first name or something, right? So okay, of course. So we're gonna change this to an interface. And here it's gonna be first name and answers. Okay. Yeah. First name. Yeah. And then here it will fail everywhere because I've used that type. So here we need to remove it. And here I know it's gonna be like this. And like that's correct here. And now I should have an issue here exactly because the type does not work. So here I have, is it a form? Nice. Card, blah blah, form control. So I take this block here, which is the event title, but I know it's a text block. That way here we can have your first name. Woo! First name, okay. And enter your first name, super. And here, just gonna do that. Tac. First name. Now here we know we give the first name and the answers. Super. And here we have the first name. So down here, I go back your first name, blah blah, but it's ugly. Okay, so your first name to be a bit consistent. So div form control, blah blah label. That's a bit weird to have that label there, but yes, so be it. So we're gonna have this here, and we put how do we call that? That's the proposed dates, I guess. And event proposed dates. So here we're gonna div div da tac. Okay. Yeah. So David. Okay. And just for the state of the art, I also gonna add here first name. Oh, first name. Oh, first name, right? Super. So just format the code. Okay, and here we want to make public, we want to create a sign-in right now, provide username as first name, then display the potential attendees for the date. Yeah, we can do that here. And so that's something else. So here we do it, save answers. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep it like that right now, but somewhere we need like some confetti and stuff and whatever. So now here, if I am on the dashboard, I have the event, but I don't know yet if there is any answers. So somehow we are missing something because here we have an event that has a title and a date, and which is saved with a key. But here we have the answers, but we don't know the answers to what. So that means that here we need the event key. Otherwise we cannot make the link. And actually I'm not gonna unsave it that way. I'm gonna save it with the description field. Here I'm gonna call it answer key, because here we have the event doc, and the event doc has the event key, which comes from the root, right? But the event doc also probably add the key. So here in the description we're gonna have the event doc dot key. Yeah, we're just gonna add a guard in case it's not defined. Event doc. The event has not been initialized that is unexpected. Yeah, okay. Okay, so here then when I save it, I use the description field. You see, where do we have that? Yeah, so I'm not sure if I add it here. So when you save a document, you can actually save it with a description that you can use for anything. It's just limited to 1,000 characters. And you can add hashtag, but you can also add other information that are useful for your filtering of the data. And in my case, we want to use it as a key so that we can retrieve it. That way, when I'm here on that page, for each of those, I can make a query to check if they are documents, right? And yeah, so your events, so that means that in that in the dashboard here, we have the doc. So for each of those doc, for in the cell here, we want to add a count. Okay, so here answers. Okay, and here I probably have to 1, 4, 1, 2. So I guess I'm gonna be 1, 4. Here we want to have the count of the answers. So we're gonna call it answers count. That's felt. And in that count, we're gonna get the document. And that's gonna be super consuming, but yeah, let's do that to have a try. And here we're gonna do this. So key, no need. So we're gonna have a let count, and on mount we're gonna do that's one way to do it. We might do that differently ultimately, but let's do that this way right now. So I just gonna do a list docs. So we're gonna list the answers data, the collection answers, and a filter on the disk, a matcher, I think is it called, on the description. Is it not called matcher? Oh, filter. And the filter has a matcher, and the matcher has a description, which is event key, right? And then here we get items length, okay? And here we can have a count, it's gonna be item length. And then define it here, big int or undefined, okay? And here we're gonna do a span, I guess. Here answers count item. It's not called item, what is it called? Event doc. Yeah, I mean, okay. So let's create a new one just to be sure. New test. This. That. Create event. That's new test. And here we load new test. And here I reload the dashboard. Ah, and I got one answer. Nice. And if another answer. Okay, two. Yes. Nice. So now this is not optimal because every time you want that count, so there is two things that is not optimal. The first thing is here we are listing the docs. So uh, I get all the payload, you see, but I don't need it. I just need the count, right? So it's a bit suboptimal in that sense. So if what would be nice here is to have a count that just return the count, and this is actually something. So Lucio.one. This is actually something also the guy from Solucio would find interesting, and I've opened an ID and say, yeah, that would be nice. As discussed with them, that would be nice if we can query that. So if you are interested to implement that and know how to implement it, so please jump to Solucio.one, a nice platform, and suggest your solution. Because yeah, that would be handy. Another things we can do is, where was I? Here, huh? No, here. It would be nice to have the count within the entity, but that means that we need a function to do that, so that every time, where was I? Every time someone is answering here, we do a serverless function that update accounts in event. Means that here we have event data with the title and the date. Maybe we can have a count on the number of answer, like having something like count number. That can be an option. I'm thinking also at some points that the user will have to select the date, so that can be another one here. Yeah, let's do that one. So, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time today to do that. Maybe not, but let's just take like, I don't know if there is any question. If not, we gonna, yeah, there isn't as far as I see. So let's do just what we need. So what's the idea? So the idea is that we have the table events, right? Here. And in that table, I enter things, and then there is a user that comes, and the user says, or a friend of mine says, and comes, and he say something like, yes, no, yes. And then what we're gonna do is each time one of those is created, the server's function notice it, and then here we're gonna do the list or the count, and here we're gonna save the count in the event. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Juno dev eject, and we're gonna open the project backend, and which means that here in our serverless function onSetDoc, we will, let's add some doc. So here, if context targeted collection is answers, then count answers for description field, because we saved that in the description field, right? And then we do save count in events collection. All right, sounds fun. Okay, yeah, let's do that in the next Juno call. That's it for today. Next week there won't be a call on Monday because I'm attending the Web3 Summit in Berlin. I will give a workshop on how to get started with Juno, and so that means that we're gonna have the next Juno Live in 2 weeks. Beside that, for those who like this kind of things, I've updated the website, and if you scroll down, you can register to a newsletter, which won't use intensively, but for example, I might use it to send you news when there is like a new release or this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for joining. If you have any question, you can reach out anytime. And yeah, bye bye and see you in 2 weeks.